Hey, it's Tamil, the Intuitive Empress, here with our moon message for the full moon in Gemini. Mercury is in retrograde. Venus is now out of retrograde. We're still in the shadow period, but she is back direct in Libra. So, which she's very comfortable in, and I really like that Venus is not retrograde anymore. I'm starting to really see the fruits of some of the deep introspective work that I have been doing during Scorpio season. The moon in Gemini, because the moon is really especially full moons, intense emotional times, it's very interesting. The energy in Gemini, which is less emotional, a little more detached, a little more logical, a little more adventurous, exciting. And so to also have Mercury, who rules Gemini, in retrograde, it's almost like this confused energy, not really knowing what direction to go in, especially coming out of a deep, watery and emotional period in Scorpio season. So we're about to be in Sagittarius season, or we are in Sagittarius season, especially when this video comes up, which is exciting. It's a lot of forward movement, but we may not be thinking that clearly. The waters may still be a little bit muddied. Our desires, because we got so many emotional downloads about what it is that we're wanting, we're not necessarily sure how to go about getting those things, even though now we're a lot more clearer about what we want. So I asked Spirit 5 questions. What am I not seeing clearly? How can I communicate more effectively? What are my hidden and repressed emotions? Where are they trying to lead me, or what are they leading me to? What side of my dual nature do I need to lean into at this time? And what will happen if we lean into that energy? So the first card I got about what we're not seeing clearly, we got Eshu. And Eshu is the Orisha of the crossroads. And I feel that we're placing a lot of limitations on ourselves by not embracing the unknown. Because we don't know exactly how we're going to get from point A to point Z, we're letting that hinder us in ways that are preventing us from building any type of momentum. And so what we're asked to do is realize that there are many options, and there aren't necessarily any wrong options if the moves that we're making feel good to us. If we feel confused, if we feel afraid, listen to ourselves, but don't let the fear, if it's not your inner being or your soul telling you, protect yourself, you're not going to be harmed. Use your rational mind to know what is going to happen if I do this. And if there are no ways for you to lose, which usually there aren't, it's just you being afraid to be rejected, afraid that your ideas won't be well received by the world. If the fear is rooted in the need for validation from others, don't let it stop you. Because Spirit is telling us that we just need to get started. We need to pick a path. And Spirit is also telling us that we have multiple paths. So just because you don't know how everything that you want is going to come to fruition, what's being clarified for us right now is that there are no wrong moves. We just need to be curious and let the curiosity lead us. And that's what this full moon in Gemini can be useful for. That's what our reflection is about, is us just being more curious and kind of doing some searching and some investigation about a lot of the emotions and the desires that came up during Venus retrograde. Now, the second question, I wrote it on my phone so that I couldn't find a pen anywhere. How can I communicate more effectively? And my Mercury is in Gemini, and I pulled the Lovers card, or the Couple card, which is the Lovers in the traditional tarot, which represents Gemini. So we need to express what it is that we want, not only admitting it to ourselves, but putting it out there in the universe. This is a great time for vision boarding. This is a great time for journaling. This is a great time for, I'm sure there'll be some pushback because people are like, Mercury retrograde, but this is a good time for communication and conversations about what it is that you're wanting. And the conversations may be more challenging, and you may have to put a lot of thought into the conversations before the words that you want to say, before you have them, even write them down. But at this point, you've done so much thinking and marinating in your desire and your emotion. You know what you want. You're just afraid to say it. And so while we're in a retrograde, the full moon in Gemini, who Mercury rules, we're able, I feel, at least during this full moon energy, to get a little bit of clarity before the retrograde really takes off. Take advantage of the illumination of the full moon so that you can kind of stick to what it is that you said, the promises that you're making, the intentions that you're setting, while there may be chaos and confusion further down with the retrograde. And I feel that the shakeups that are going to happen with the Mercury retrograde are only a refining process so that we're even clearer about what it is that we're wanting and learning how to more effectively communicate. Because it's what I'm feeling is that it's very clear that we have been silent, we've muted ourselves, we shrunk when it comes to expressing what it is, what we want, afraid that it's too much, whether it's like goals or ambitions, not really wanting to say it because we think it sounds crazy to other people. So this is about not concerning ourselves so much about how we'll be received by anybody around us, and getting the courage and the bravery and the support from those we know it's safe to speak those goals and those desires to. In love relationships, whatever came up during the retrograde about whether it's your sexual needs, your physical needs, your emotional security, your financial security, now is a good time to have those conversations or figure out how you think is best to communicate that. How do you tell your partner? How do you tell your friends what it is that you're needing and what it is that you're wanting? What reciprocity you want to see? And it's also a time for you to stop sending mixed messages, because that's something that I'm feeling is that we've confused ourselves and maybe confused other people with maybe some mood swings, our unwillingness to be vulnerable and express what we think they've done wrong to us or how they've wronged us. So eliminate confusion. The only way to eliminate confusion and bring clarity is through communication, and we can't hide from that anymore. Okay. Now, what emotions have we repressed that we need to acknowledge, now come out and communicate. And if we do that, where are those emotions leading us to? And we got the Ace of Air. And this is really about the style in which we're going to have these tough conversations. This is a reflection of a divine feminine energy, reflective of the Holy Spirit. This is grace. This is compassion. This is understanding, but it is also logical, and it is also intellectual, and it is also a very clear message. So the emotions that you've had, that you've been avoiding, the conversations you've been avoiding, are necessary now to give you the peace and the clarity of mind that you've kind of been yearning for. You get all of them thoughts out of your head at this time, the things that have been circulating around. And this may not even have anything to do with you and another individual. This could just be your goals and your visions, and you having all of this in your head, but not starting. This is a start of something new. This is the beginning of a new relationship dynamic with yourself or with someone else. And it starts through effective communication. So really taking the time to get clear about what you want to say, how you want to say it. If it's not another person, getting really clear about what it is that you want to do next. And remember, there's no wrong moves. You just need to start. And this is Spirit telling you that's what's next, is the starting. This is the rebirth that comes after the Scorpio season burial. All of the emotions, all of the ruminating, all of the stillness, all of the overwhelm is leading us to this new path, this new start. The letting go of things that are no longer serving us, the letting go of relationships that are outdated. This is reconciliation with a better foundation. So have the conversations and be honest with yourself about what you want. This could be in your business, realizing that this particular product or service isn't working out anymore and you have to change it up. This is you letting what isn't working go and moving on with the next steps, with the new path. I got a little bit of oops. Now the next question that I asked, and it's funny because I got two cards, is what side of my dual nature needs to shine at this time? And I got Ogun, but I also got a message from water. And so this is all about victory and love triumphing in our lives. But we're doing our conquering in a softer way. We are having to let both our masculine energies and our feminine energies shine. And so what I was trying to get Spirit to tell me, like, well, if there's one thing that we can be better now, or what energy would be better for us to lean into, and Spirit was like, no, that's not how this works. You have to be all of you. You have to integrate every part of you. You have to be strong, but you also have to be compassionate. You have to fight for what it is that you want, but you also have to allow what's meant for you to come to you. Do not force anything. Only fight for what's actually yours and what's being given to you by God, not for anybody else's stuff, just yours. So what did we learn about ourselves in Venus retrograde? What about our shadows were we able to uncover? What insecurities did we uncover? What gifts that we weren't tapping into did we remember? You're being called to incorporate all of those things right now as you start your new journey. If you do that, where will that lead you? And we got the Ace of Fire. This is the courage. This is the strength. This is the passion. We're clearly on a new journey. This is the fire energy that will take us through a Sagittarius season. That is my alarm to eat a healthy lunch. I remind myself every day so that I don't skip it. Sorry. This is success. This is us being our true self. This is us not apologizing for who we are. This is us being bold. If we can get really clear with ourselves, make the promises, have the hard conversations, and boss up. So we can get a little clarity out of this full moon. Don't let things happen in Mercury retrograde, like it's undeniable. Stuff breaks, things stop working, old people contact you. All that stuff is real and it's valid. But the purpose is for you to get clarity. And that's what the full moon in Gemini is reminding us of. The purpose isn't the confusion that is a side effect of mass consciousness. Oh, Mercury retrograde. The purpose is that we get more clear and that we come out clear on the other side and ready to get what's ours and take what's ours. This whole message is about victory. It's about duality. Taking control and releasing fear that's holding us back. And we can do it. That's our moon message. I hope you like my new hair. I'm going to try and rock it through the end of the year. I'll probably have to get the top redone. It kind of looks silver, but it's really like platinum blonde. The highlights, and I love it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling myself in them. I look like my mom. My mom used to get her hair cornrowed in the multiple layers when I was younger. So it's a super nostalgic and just makes me feel like a grown woman. So I love you guys. If you want to book a personal reading, the confusion is real. And if you are wanting clarity, it's something that we need. It's something that we're being called to get. So if you would like to book a personal reading, I am available, impressivelife.com. And also be sure and follow me on Instagram, if you do not already, at The Intuitive Empress for our daily messages. For the month of December, the energy guidance will be available on Patreon. The details will be in the description box For if you join the Sacred Sisterhood, you will get access to the monthly coaching. So we'll go a little bit more into the guidance. This is the energy, but we'll go a little bit more into the actions or the meditations or the questions that we need to be asking ourselves to get the clarity and to get the answers if you're not able to book one-on-one. That starts at $5 a month. Okay, I think that's it. Just making sure I'm communicating effectively as the full moon in Gemini wants me to. So, love you guys. Bye.